Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unpopular K-POP Opinions, because Hee-Jin's running a circus.
Without a Tent. Oh no.
Yo, her titles are good though.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
1. Hee-Jin got busted for tampering. Remember when Dispatch blew lid off Hee-Jin's plans last November? She completely denied plotting with other investors to swipe new jeans from Hive. Well, guess what? The chairman of a company called Dabbling confirmed that he met up with Hee-Jin to discuss launching a new company to sign new jeans. Hee-Jin asked for a $5 billion investment, but the chairman declined. How could anyone still defend her? I could not tell you.
I wonder
the first legal proceedings.
What made him decide to come forward, or was he requested to come forward?
Seems like she's fucking everyone over, so people just come forward. You know how some people, they don't care who they fuck over in the process. Well, she fucked over someone wrong, so seems like it.
For Hee-Jin's lawsuits against Hive and the Lift Lab took place on January 10th, and her lawyers are twisting words and events so much that it's downright ridiculous, and using public opinion as evidence. Girl, bye. I know a lawyer's job is to represent their client's case in the best legal way possible, but we're really out here trying to fight a legal case with public opinion? That's your big strategy? Girl, this isn't a popularity contest. It's a courtroom. Judges don't give a what about your media spins, your pity party, or how many stands are crying for you online. They care about evidence.
Well, judges don't care. You're right. Of course, I don't know how is the judicial system in Korea, but the jury does care. So if there's a jury in Korea and it would go to jury, the public opinion matters. So, it's not necessarily a bad strategy. I just don't know if Korea does have a jury principle, because Lithuania doesn't. So I'm inclined to believe it's an American thing, but I can't say for sure. I don't know.
For people that they pick on the jury, they try to pick those who don't know anything about the subject matter.
I know, but I understand that. But when you make it so public that you everywhere, it becomes to a point where it's impossible to not know. So, But again, I don't know if Korea even has the jury system, so could be irrelevant.
Actual hard proof, not the circus act you're pulling. So unless you've got some receipts that can knock the judge's socks off, you're walking into court empty-handed and delusional. 2. T.O.P catching flack for his role in Squid Game Season 2 is stupid. Let's break it down. This ex-Big Bang member got himself tangled in a marijuana scandal back in 2017 in South Korea. That's like committing a cardinal sin. Fast forward to now and he's playing Thanos, a rapper with a drug problem. Talk about art imitating life. Critics are tearing him apart, calling his performance unbearable and the show's worst casting choice. Some are even demanding he apologize to the global audience. Some Koreans are even boycotting the show, dragging up T.O.P's past scandal and questioning the director's sanity for casting him. It seems like the guy just can't catch a break. It's like society has a bizarre obsession with rehashing old mistakes, even when the person involved has already faced the consequences. Seriously, it's been almost a decade and people still act like...
Okay, maybe if he didn't face the consequences, then I can understand, they still on him for that. But he was very much penalized for this.
He committed heinous crime. In reality, he smoked marijuana, a substance that's practically as common as a cup of coffee in places like the US. T.O.P got caught, apologized, and served his punishment. But the relentless shaming continues as if he's some kind of criminal mastermind. It's mind-boggling is that he even has to revisit this chapter of his life. There are far more serious criminals out there, yet the public remains fixated on a marijuana charge. It's like society has selective amnesia when it comes to real issues, but an elephant's memory for trivial ones. The outrage machine keeps turning over this minor incident, while bigger, more damaging scandals get swept under the rug. I mean, where's the outrage for other Squid Game actors with actual criminal offenses? We're talking driving under the influence, physical assaults, taking advantage of minors, and worse. Some of those actors are disgusting, from both seasons, by the way.
Yeah, we discussed about this yesterday in the reaction. In the video we did, the news video, K-pop news, they showed all the cast members and all their past issues with the law, so...
Yet somehow T.O.P's past mistake is deemed more worthy of public scorn. He's paid his dues and wants to move on, but the past keeps getting dredged up by those who can't seem to let go. He made a mistake when he was younger, who hasn't? It's time to let him live his life without the constant demand for apologies. It's time for a reality check on our culture of judgment and moral high grounding. Or in Kourtney Kardashian's words, Kim, there are people that are dying. 3. Let's talk about Starship Entertainment accidentally posting inappropriate deepfake photos of IVE. A couple days ago, Starship mistakenly reposted explicit fan-made deepfake images of Wonyoung and Yunjin.
Explicit? Why the fuck would they do that?
The original post included vile captions like Wonyoung good baby and Yunjin loves kissing old men, which any decent human being would find repulsive. Fans were outraged, slamming the agency not only for failing to protect the members, but also for...
Why would they do that? That's just so weird.
Maybe to get people talking?
Why? Why the fuck would the agency do that?
amplifying such degrading content. In response, Starship issued an apology, claiming that the incident occurred while a staff member was attempting to report the malicious post. But many people didn't buy that explanation.
They clicked instead of report, they clicked share. I mean, I would buy it if the staff member is like 80 years old. Maybe, you know.
I feel like there's several steps before it becomes posted live, you know?
Once again, like, it's, you know, sitting from our perspective, how is that possible, right?
Yeah.
But if it is really, you know, staff members are some older who are not too familiar with technology, social media and whatnot, I mean, it is possible. You can't like rule out, like I imagine only like my grandma trying to do that. I can see her sharing it instead of, you know, reporting it. It's totally possible.
But to even think to report it in the first place?
My question is, would someone like my grandma be working at a job like this? That I don't know. But I could see that happening if like a person like that, you know, tried to report it. So, I don't know. We can dismiss it. We can, but I don't. You know,
I feel like they forgot to switch user from personal account.
That is also possible. That maybe they're like a hater within the company.
Because that happened to me. Even like sometimes I forget to switch from personal.
And what you do?
Like no.
You share fake photos of me?
No. Because I have like my regular accounts and then others for like business.
All right, I get it. No, that actually, now that you say, I didn't think about it, but I think you're right. I think that's what happened.
Because you could make a silly comment, but then you can't do that professionally.
I think, you know what they have, what do you call it, in
like a work account? And
no, the fake accounts. There's a word
for it. The spam account. Like where you get junk mail. Yeah,
no, like in oh my god, my brain is not working. Burner accounts.
Burner accounts.
Yeah. So maybe, you know, the staff member, you know, they're kind of like a hater, you know, because you're working with these people, you know, they might be like mean, and you might have like issues. So maybe they're like they have like a hatred toward, because we don't know these people. They idols, they portray a certain image, but we don't know their character. Maybe they're like mean girls. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So, you know, maybe like from their perspective, they don't like them, and they had a burner, and they, you know, they wanted to promote against them with the burner share, but they forgot to change it, as you said. Now that I think about it, this is the most likely scenario.
They pointed out that reposting something on Weibo prompts you twice before publishing, arguing that there's no way this could have been an honest mistake. But can we be realistic here? Why on earth would Starship sabotage their own cash cows? These companies are all about making money from their idols, and protecting their image is crucial for that. It's like shooting themselves in the foot. Why would they do that? The conspiracy theories floating around are just fans letting their imaginations run wild. Now let's talk about the more likely scenario: human error. Social media managers are human, not machines. They're juggling a ton of responsibilities. Probably stressed out and exhausted. Mistakes happen, especially when you're dealing with a constant
No, I think what we conclude.
But the social media manager, they could be managing different accounts.
And what account would you want to share? In the one that you hating on the person?
Of disgusting deepfake content. Imagine spending your workday staring at that kind of filth and then still being expected to flawlessly click every button like you're a machine. One slip up and suddenly the pitchforks are out. Get a grip. As for the company's apology, what more do fans want? They put out a public statement.
Of course it was a mistake. They definitely didn't do this on purpose. This action.
This was an accident.
Yeah, this was an accident. Nobody's debating that. It's just what was the intention behind it, because it wasn't like a random click. Like there was something going on here. That's what we're kind of trying to determine.
I wonder, as an idol, how do you feel like in-house someone you're
that would be real fucked up. How you like how that's like you lose trust in them.
Yeah.
And you can bet the staff member responsible is probably sweating bullets right now. And Wonyoung and Yunjin have likely gotten personal apologies behind the scenes. But fans out here screaming for blood and demanding heads to roll? Take a seat. Mistakes happen. And while this one was bad, it doesn't mean the company is out to get their idols. Even SM wouldn't do something like that. The real villain here isn't Starship or their staff. It's the creators and spreaders of those disgusting deepfakes. Sure. Imagine the sheer depravity of creating that kind of content, let alone putting it out into the world. That's where the outrage should be directed. Not at some overworked employee who accidentally clicked the wrong button while trying to clean up someone else's mess. Fans need to stop frothing at the mouth over every minor mistake and start putting their energy where it really matters.
Also, they can accidentally meant to share it privately within house. Like, look, this is something that's out here. We have to address this. and accidentally send, wrong person.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It could have been someone like their boss or something.
Mm-hmm.
They
Like, this
sent
is going
them, look,
on.
yeah, we have to address this, and instead they should probably, that's very possible, yes.
The actual source of the problem. 4. Not everything is a targeted attack against your faves. Look, I get it. Standing your faves is a full-time job for some of y'all. But not every hiccup in the system is a vendetta. Sometimes it's just plain old incompetence. For example, after the
Yes, this is correct. And that's what bothers me with a lot of like voracity and like BTS reactions. It just feels like ARMY always feel like everything is targeted on BTS. Like whenever we react, it's like, oh, Spotify hates BTS, YouTube hates BTS, everybody hates BTS. They're trying to sabotage BTS. Like, it really annoys me, that kind of a narrative. It's not. Like, nobody's trying to sabotage them. Like, yeah, there's battles to fight, yeah, but it's not like, oh, somebody in Spotify is sitting there actively not promoting BTS. Like, it's not happening. It's just not.
The Hee-Jin stages were uploaded on YouTube. Les Aratham and Illit's performances were made private for a few hours, and some fans started claiming SBS was sabotaging them. And on what? SBS, Mnet, and Melon been serving incompetence on a silver platter for years. Do you really think a major broadcasting company is sitting in their boardroom plotting how to ruin two groups' careers? No, they're probably just fumbling around trying to figure out how to run their YouTube channel without tripping over their own feet. It's not malice. It's mismanagement, and if you've been paying attention to SBS's track record, this shouldn't even surprise you. Let's talk about that track record, shall we? The audio mixing at these events is consistently trash. Like, how do you have some of the biggest artists in the industry performing and still manage to make it sound like they're singing through a tin can? That alone should tell you that SBS...
the sound quality in K-pop events, I don't know. Like, when we reacted to Greece, Helena Poporizu, when at The Voice, I'm sitting there, I'm like, is she even live? I can't tell. It sounds like, it's so perfect. It sounds like, and yes, she was live because she was making jokes, but it sounded so perfect. It sounded like a track. Here in these events, we watch, and there's all of them, like K-pop, we watched audios like, how?
I think it's the venues that they use, because it's always a different venue.
Oh, I disagree, because when we watched Westlife do a performance in Korea, also sounded beautiful. Remember when we did the wedding song Westlife? They sounded beautiful. So I was thinking, I was like, they must have brought their own mics because they sound brilliant. But whenever Koreans perform, it's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So do they not have money for the right mics?
They should have money for that.
It's like, I don't understand why it's only in K-pop is the sound issues that we're seeing. Honestly, to me, it's like they really don't have money for the mics. I think they're just trying to save money and cutting in on the mics.
No.
S isn't exactly operating at peak efficiency. And then there's the infamous Stray Kids incident last year. They played a new Yunjin song during their performance. That's not just a mistake. That's a whole new level of unprofessionalism. And instead of fixing it in post-production, they just decided, you know what? Let's not upload it at all. So now the group's hard work is just gone. Poof, like it never happened. How is that fair? Spoiler, it's not. And let's not forget the safety issues. NCT's member falling through an open platform last year. Red Velvet Wendy's horrific accident.
I don't know. That's crazy.
I didn't know about that.
During rehearsal, these aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a pattern that screams we don't know how to run a safe professional event. If anything, SBS is sabotaging themselves with their sheer inability to get their act together. It's not about targeting specific groups. It's about a systemic failure to prioritize quality and safety. And this isn't just an SBS problem. Other award shows and year-end ceremonies are just as bad. The industry as a whole seems to think that as long as the stage looks pretty, nothing else matters. But guess what? It does. 5. Cube CEO was accused of being involved in cryptocurrency scamming. Anyone who's been paying attention to Cube's behavior over the past
Okay.
That's
T. That's T.
few years could see this coming from a mile away. This is the same company that's been borderline obsessed with crypto, NFTs, and the metaverse, buzzwords that scream we're trying to cash in on a trend we don't fully understand. They've been throwing around these ideas like they're the future of the industry, but none of it has materialized into anything meaningful. Remember that NFT album they hyped up, promising new songs from all Cube artists? Yeah, that never happened. It's all been smoke and mirrors, and now it's starting to make sense why. Cube's priorities have been completely out of whack for years. Instead of focusing on their actual groups and building sustainable careers for them, they've been chasing after get-rich-quick schemes like crypto and NFTs, and the result? Over 20 artists have left the company since 2022. That's not just a coincidence, that's a mass exodus. It's clear that Cube has been neglecting their acts, with the exception of G-Idol, who are basically carrying the company on their backs at this point. Everyone else has been left to fend for themselves. And it's no wonder so many of them decided to jump ship. The crypto obsession also explains a lot about Cube's recent behavior. They've been cutting corners, screwing over their artists, and seemingly funneling resources into these shady ventures instead of investing in their talent. And now, with the CEO being accused of scamming, it's like the final piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. If the accusations are true, it's not just incompetence, it's outright greed. They weren't just bad at managing their artists. They were actively prioritizing their own financial schemes over the careers of the people they're supposed to represent. What's even more infuriating is how this reflects on the industry as a whole. Cube isn't the only company dabbling in crypto and NFTs, but they've been one of the most blatant about it, and now with their CEO under fire, it's a reminder of how these companies will chase any shady trend if they think of it.
I mean, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with dabbling in crypto. It's scamming part is the wrong. Like, cryptocurrency scamming, that's what's wrong. If company,
understand it, honestly.
I mean, I don't know what he did. We didn't go into detail. She's just saying he was accused of scamming. I don't know exactly what he did, but if a company decides to diversify their assets and buy some crypto, I don't exactly see a problem with that.
I think
that's just
the issue is that it's like a personal decision they made. I think it's weird when they try to put it on others to also do it, because for me it's misleading, because I think it's only beneficial to if you get others to do it too, because you'll benefit yourself.
I think that's where the scamming part comes from. Yeah, but if you just if you don't encourage others to buy, if you just like as a because companies do buy assets, like you can buy fund, you can. If you have spare cash, you invest them into something. You can invest into funds, you can invest into Apple stocks, Amazon stocks, or you can invest into crypto. So, however they choose to manage their extra cash is their business. I don't really think we should care about it. It's just the scamming part that's wrong.
You know what I have seen is like they get like their idols to kind of push like these kind of games that are connected to crypto.
Yeah, and I think that's what how a lot of people here in the States got into trouble, because like they promoted the guy in Miami, the one FTX. Because a lot of athletes promoted FTX, so they I think DJ Khaled, Shaq.
They don't know what they're promoting.
Yeah, they didn't know what the fuck they were promoting. They were promoting because they were getting paid, and it ended up being a scam, and that was the wrong part. Is because it's a scam. Not if they were promoting let's say Bitcoin by itself. I don't think anyone would be mad just because Bitcoin is not exactly a scam. Like a lot of people don't understand what it is.
I don't know this one either.
But it's not a scam, so.
I don't know what that is. It's to me, if I don't understand, it's a scam.
It'll make them a quick buck. Meanwhile, the artists are left in the dust. 6. Yunjin's Jellyfish is her best solo release so far. Her earlier solo work felt a bit rough lyrically, but this self-composed ballad showed a lot of growth. It has this unpolished indie charm that makes it feel personal, almost like you're listening to a private journal entry set to music. It's not trying to be overly commercial.
Yeah, we haven't heard this one, so we don't really have an opinion.
And that's exactly what makes it stand out. The acoustic guitar paired with her soothing vocals creates this stripped-down, introspective vibe that feels intimate, without being overly sentimental. What really elevates it is the metaphorical depth of the lyrics. On the surface, it's a pretty R&B soul track, but when you dig into the jellyfish symbolism, it becomes so much more layered. Jellyfish are such an unconventional metaphor, and that's what makes it brilliant. They're fragile, almost ethereal creatures, yet they survive in some of the harshest conditions imaginable. They drift, they adapt, and they endure. Yunjin takes that imagery and uses it to craft a message about quiet resilience, about how even in the face of life's chaos, there's beauty in simply existing and persevering. It's not a loud, triumphant kind of strength. It's the kind that's soft, understated, and deeply human. That's a perspective you don't often hear in music, especially in K-pop, where themes of empowerment are usually more overt and in your face. The lyrics themselves are poetic and layered, though I'll admit they might fly over some people's heads if they're not willing to dig into the metaphors. The jellyfish imagery isn't just a random aesthetic choice. It's central to the song's meaning. Yunjin clearly put a lot of thought into this, and it shows. The way she ties the resilience of jellyfish to human perseverance is subtle but effective. It's the kind of song that rewards you the more you engage with it. And I can imagine it hits even harder in Korean, where the nuances of her word choices and phrasing probably come through more clearly.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for Yunjin.
Yeah, I like when there's creativity and they're able to put into the effort into the songs. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.